Hey, thanks for tuning in. I just have to work on maintaining my tools. So this may have happened to you, and this is an easy fix. So tools are repairable. I've got this Makita belt sander and the cord is falling apart. It's cracking, it's breaking. I think at one time I actually sanded through the cord and did a terrible repair with this tape, and that was some time ago. So luckily, I was donated this charging cord from somebody, so I'm just going to make a cord swap. It's very straightforward. It's the same way on belt sanders or drills or pretty much any corded power tool. So you're just going to remove the screws from the case and split the case open. Now, of course, anytime you're working on electrical components, you do want to unplug it before you start working on it. So here I've just removed or loosened all of the screws and taken the base apart. And doing a little inspection, I had a lot of blue dust inside of mine, and since the case is blue, I just want to make sure nothing was rubbing. And everything looks okay. So it's pretty straightforward. The neutral and hot attached to a switch, and when you press that switch down, it allows power to go through the tool to make it operate. So here I'm just going to remove the two ring terminals from the switch so I can remove and discard the old cord. And now if you have a donor cord, it probably will not have any sort of plug or anything on the end of it. Here I'm just trying to disconnect the existing plug just so I'll have more wire and I won't have to cut it too short. But if you buy a wire, it won't have any of this on it. Or if you get a donor wire, I mean, you may have to take it apart and find your three leads. So these leads are going to be your hot, your neutral, and your ground. On this power tool there is no ground being used, so I just simply will not hook that up. Now this is a really great repair. In this day and age where a lot of stuff is becoming disposable, just replace it. It's good to know that you can repair these tools and make them just as good as new. So if you find something at a yard sale with a beat up cord and somebody's selling it very cheap, it's a score for you. What my one friend actually does is he has a large drill that he uses for mixing paint and thin set and mortar and stuff, and he took the cord off of the short little cord, and he put an extension cord, like 25 foot, so he'll never actually need an extension cord on the job site. So that's a great little trick. And here I'm just removing the little cord stop. Now this saves in case you drop the tool, you're pulling on that stop and not the hookups on the switch. Now anytime you do change the cord, make sure you are watching the amperage rating on the cord and on the tool. This tool is rated, I think, for 5 amps, but the cord I'm putting in is rated for 15 amps, so it is more than enough for what I need. And here I'm just removing some of the sheathing. And like I said, you can find these cords on Amazon. Here's one here, a 10 foot 14 gauge 3-prong, 110 volt. So that's more than what you're going to need, 15 amp rating. Just make sure you do check the rating on the tool that you are working on. Most table saws, I think, are going to be 15 amps. So any of your smaller hand tools should be maybe 5 to 10 amps. And the amps are the power draw. So if you have something that you hook up, let's say this belt sander was 20 amps and I put a 15 amp cord on it, the cord would start getting hot and it would actually cause melting and possibly fire. So that's why you do want to make sure you always go with a heavier gauge than what you need. Now here I'm just reversing the process. I'm putting some ring terminals on and reattaching it to the switch. This whole process took maybe about 15 minutes, and that includes me going to look for the correct size ring terminals that would fit on this switch. Now I'm just going to reinstall this little cord stop. And then just simply do a test of the tool to make sure everything is working properly. And that's it. That's pretty straightforward. So about 15 minutes and this tool is as good as new. Hope you guys liked the video. If you could, please subscribe. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you can help out with that, I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time.